Hi, Dr. Alina Kolchitsky, Boutique Bodyworks, physical therapist, lifestyle medicine, nutrition, and more. Today I'm going to show you some simple exercises to help strengthen the muscles around the shoulder blades. Technical term is scapula, so if you ever hear the word scapula, people are talking about your shoulder blades, the bones that look like wings on your back. So there's a lot of different muscles that connect to this part of your body. They control your trunk in relationship to your upper limbs, your arms. And so they connect your arms literally to your body, and they lend stability to any kind of arm movement, lifting and carrying, reaching, and also again, being able to push away from surfaces because they're on the trunk. So they control the relationship between those two moving parts. So when people get rotator cuff tears, meaning the shoulder muscles, one of the tendons tears, or bicep tendonitis, which is part of the rotator cuff actually. Often it's not just overuse, but imbalance in terms of weak muscles in your subscapular area, the scapular area, or tightness, or a combination of tight on one side, weak on another, and how that changes the body mechanics of your shoulders and how your upper limb moves. And that's what leads to problems over time and that increased wear and tear. So anyways, the point is we need to keep that area mobile and strong. And they can be done with the same exercises that do two birds with one stone. So you either need a chair, a better sofa, or a counter. So I'm going to first show you on the better sofa. So we're going to get into a position where your hands are on the edge. You bring your seat away from that edge, so my butt is hanging freely in the air. My knees are bent. That makes it a little bit easier than straight-legged, which by all means, if you get really strong, you can go towards straight-legged, but in the beginning, go for bent legs. You want to try to keep a nice straight back, and all you're doing is trying to make yourself dip down and push up. So these aren't tricep dips. That's not what we're doing. We're just letting our rib cage sink towards the floor and then try to push up away from the floor. So we're just basically doing elevation and depression. So those shoulder blades are elevating and depressing in relationship to your rib cage. So you want to do that 8 to 15 times. You can do several sets. You can go a little bit quicker. And you can go slow. In the beginning, I just want you to be able to get into position, and that alone could be a challenge for some people. So be aware of that and be careful that you don't hurt yourself. You want to make sure you're strong enough to get into position to begin with. So again, the other option is the chair. Make sure that it's a non-mobile chair, so not one on wheels. It's not going to roll around on you. And you're going to place your hands on the seat of your chair. They are apart. They're not, together. They're apart. Bend your knees. Straighten your spine. My elbows are straight. I'm going to press away from the chair and then sink down. So you're in that shoulder shrug kind of basic motion. Pushing up and then down. As you push away, really feel that tension build in this area. That's where you should feel tension, muscles working. So again, up and down. You can go fast, you can go slow, do combination. It's good to have both abilities, working different types of fibers in the muscle, slow twitch, fast twitch, crossovers in between the two. Okay, and so that's that position. So again, either a sofa or a bed or a nice chair that doesn't move. Next, you're going to flip that position. And so we're going to go into a push-up position. Let's go to the bed first. So if your bed is too soft, this might not be the best option, but my hands are about shoulder width apart, maybe a little bit more. And this one, I am going to go out onto straight legs. If that's too hard, come down onto your knees, just like doing, your push-ups on the mat, on the floor. So you can just basically push away and sink your body in. Push away, so it's like a push-up. Next, I want you to isolate those muscles. You all know that push-up position, but now we're going to isolate the scapular muscles or the shoulder blade. So straight arms, let your chest come in and push away. So now you know the difference, right? We're not doing a push-up, we're not bending your elbows. That's why we went there first. And now we're just doing it with straight elbows, trying to control our rib cage in relationship to our arms. So our arms stay still, elbows stay straight. We're just sinking in towards our hands and pushing away from our hands. Okay, so if you're on straight legs, you look like this. You're trying to make your rib cage kind of round out in that space there between the shoulder blades and then sink in. So you look like old horse or cow and then press out away. My back is straight, I'm not up like that. So be careful with that if you are in the straight leg position. On a chair, it's going to look like this. Hands go in the butt of the chair. And again, we could do it on your knees. And it's just going to look basically like this. So if you're very weak there or have very poor sense of control of those muscles, you might want to start here, because when you go up onto straight legs, you're adding load. And that is going to make it harder. And maybe if you don't have the motor control, you don't want to load until you have a sense of how to isolate those muscles. Once you do have a sense of it, we go here onto straight legs. And this is a progression. So I'm sinking my chest to the surface and then pushing away from the surface that my hands are connected to. And that's working all those muscles around your shoulder blade areas. Front and back. We can also do it on, let me show you, kitchen counter. So I'm not in my kitchen, but let's pretend this is my kitchen counter. So you're gonna walk your feet out so you're on an incline, and don't bend your elbows, rather sink your chest and push away. Let's see if I can bring this out a little further. Yeah, you can't see that. Sinking, pressing away. Sinking, pressing away. Just like that. You could also do it against a wall. So let's go onto my door. And I have to be careful here where I place my hands, just because of the window, but sink in and push away. So you could do this on a wall or on a closed door, but again, my elbows are straight, I'm sinking my chest towards my hands and then pressing away from my hands and trying to get control of those muscles around the shoulder blade area that connect your upper limbs to your trunk. And that's it. Nice and simple, just 2 basic movements. Different options on how to load it. You can do it with with very light load, and then you can increase the load by, lengthening the lever by having straight legs as opposed to bent legs. And that was true also for this position. So if my legs are straight, it's going to be harder than if my legs are bent. So just some things to keep in mind when progressing. And then later you can hold weights and do this, and but that's only going to work for that one direction. You can get on your back with weights and do this. And you can use bands to do either direction, but you've got the 2 directions in mind now, and play with that. The body weight is kind of nice because it also challenges your mobility, but be careful if there's any kind of sharp pain, searing pain. That's never good, right? We don't want to tear a tissue. So if it's muscular soreness, that's something that you can live with. But if it's not just that kind of soreness that you hopefully are familiar with the difference, stop, consider using a lighter load or unloading, and try again. And if it persists, maybe have a healthcare professional see you or assess you, like your doctor or your physical therapist. Okay, that's all for now. Thank you so much, and I hope that helps with giving you some more strength and stability with your upper body, upper core.